let's talk about using 2 amps and 2 cabs. There are a lot of benefits to doing this. A lot of the tones that we all know and love are not actually 1 guitar cab and 1 amp. They're actually 2. And for example, a lot of Led Zeppelin songs are tracked with 2 amps. And live especially, guys use different amps to get different sounds. What I'm going to do here is pick 2 different cabs, and I'm going to pick 2 cabs that are very different sounding. But what I'm going to do is run the exact same amp into them, so I'm actually going to delete that amp block, and I'm just going to Control-C or Command-C if you're on a Mac, and Command-Control-V that. So we've got identical amplifiers, but I'm going to put different cabs on them. So let's set this bypass mode to mute here so we can hear what each one sounds like. On this first one, I've got James Santiago's fantastic sounding EJ1250. And well, maybe we'll play something that's not in E, but as a guitarist, I default to chunking on E, so here we go. We've gone down to D just so we don't all go crazy. So that's the sound of that cab, and maybe we'll go with this oval. Let's pick something a little more fun. I'm going to go with the other Santiago cab, which is this Altec. So here it's got much more of kind of a papery, kind of, I don't want to say brittle because brittle's a bad word, but sizzly is maybe a better word. Really nice sparkly sound. And together they're going to sound like this. I'm going to go ahead and reduce this level pretty drastically on each of these amplifiers. And again, we want the amps the same so that we can kind of see what we're going to do with the cabs. But so that's 2 different sounds. Okay, so how can we make these each discrete? Well, the obvious answer is to hard pan each one. So we go hard left and hard right. And what we have now, and again, this is a good point to say that anybody who's watching, you're going to get the most out of what I'm doing here if you have on headphones or you have super discrete stereo separated field of monitors. If you don't have really good monitors, or not really good, but if you don't have good monitors, and you're listening on laptop speakers or those crappy little computer speakers that come with a computer in a box from Best Buy or something, please put on some headphones. You're going to get much more out of this class if you can really hear stuff. And when we get into some hardcore stereo stuff like we're about to in 4 seconds, it's kind of fun to have your head feel like it's cruising around while I'm panning stuff. So now we've got them stereo separated and each is in its own discrete channel. So on the left we've got the not the one selected, this one. And that one on the other side. All right, so let's attach a scene controller to this balance. We're going to do scene 1 here. Yep, not external 5, scene 1, the one I was actually talking about. And we're going to leave the min and the max at hard left and hard right. And on this other cab, let's do the same thing, but we're going to do scene 2. So we've got 2 separate scene modifiers. So in scene 1, we can just go into the controller here, and I want to put this top cab all the way to the left and this bottom cab all the way to the right, so just like we had it. So we've got. And if we, again, mute this one, mute it, not move it. If we mute this one, we go into the controllers, we can roll this one. Wearing headphones, I'm gonna make you sick now. Okay, that was fun. Okay, so in scene 1, let's just separate these discretely. So we're gonna go all the way to the left on that one, and then all the way to the right on that one. And so what is the application of this? Okay, so first off, the way that I would use this is to, in one preset, have some very distinct sounds, because you're going to get a very different sounding rig if you have these two separated. For example, you could currently take one output from the left and one output from the right and track two separate amplifiers, or through cabs, two separate cabs rather, through discrete channels. So you'd have one amp bare and the other amp bare, and you could record that. Or you could send it out live and have somebody mix them, and a sound guy could figure out what he thinks sounds best. Or you could have it so that you can do your mixing on your own. So you set your 8 favorite mixes of these cabs for various stages of separation or combination between the two. And you'll be able to select those on a per scene basis rather. So on this next one, I'm going to put this at, I'm going to say 25%, and I'm going to put this one on 75%. And if you ignore the percentage values and you just look at the knob, you can tell exactly where we are in the panning field. So scene 1 sounds like this. Collapse the stereo field a little bit in scene 2. And you can hear how different the overall perceived tone in your ears is just from bringing those two in a little bit. So you're not really, at least to my mind, I'm not really hearing two separate sounds come together. What I'm hearing is one sound that I heard in the first one start to morph into a different sound, as in the second one. So let's put them all at 50, so right up the middle in this next one. And you are going to get a volume increase as we do this. And we could actually go in here and modify this cabinet level as well for each of these cabs to bring down the level as we increase the amount of panning towards center. We'd have to do it with another controller because we're out of scene controllers, but it would be possible. So in scene 3, we've got basically one unified sound where both of these cabs that are very different sounding are complementing each other and creating this, I think, much better sounding tone. Not that either one of these is necessarily bad on its own, but we've got this tone, which is very sizzly, and we've got, we have a bypass state that is not playing ball here. Dun dun dun. Somehow, I hit Y inadvertently. Okay, so again, we have this kind of papery, kind of sizzly. I'm sorry, that's the normal one. This is the papery, sizzly one. The idea is that they're very complementary. Neither one is doing much of what the other is doing. They're kind of occupying discrete areas. So when they come together, and then again, you can just go into these scene controllers and start doing your own little minute adjustments. So maybe you think it sounds good, brought up to, say 30 and 70. So right there is a good sound. But you have all of this creative control, and you have 8 different ways to do it. Say for some reason you want them all on the left channel. I don't know why you'd want to do that. But again, I see this less as a stereo separation issue and more of an opportunity to mix these cabs in real time in creative ways. So just kind of circling back around, we could easily attach the pan states of both of these to what we did with the whammy pedals that were inverted and have one curve going from bottom to top, left to right, and one going from top to bottom, left to right, and live pan these so that in the middle of the pedal, we would have them both up the center, and then we'd have them completely separated. This is a way to do it with scenes. You could do it with a physical pedal. You could do it with any of these controllers, which is really the cool thing about it.